Hello everybody, my name is Chikirza and welcome to my channel. I'm continuing to work in my Canson Mixed Media XL sketchbook here. I've only got a couple of pages left and then I'll have a sketchbook completed. I feel like playing with some watercolors and doing some doodles today, so let's get set up. I'm speeding up this portion of the video because I'm just wetting down my page with some water on this brush. My paper's starting to curl, so I'll just hold it down with my finger. And this is why I wet the paper down first. Putting the wet paint onto the wet paper allows it to flow and do its own thing. And that is so beautiful. It's one of the things I love about watercolor, but it's also one of the things that I dislike about watercolor, is sometimes it does what it wants to do and not what you want it to do. Let's do the same with the blue line. And let's do a circle of blue around that purple paint. I'm just putting the colors wherever I feel like putting them at the time. I'm working intuitively. But I'm also trying to keep in mind, because I want to do doodles on this page, that I want to leave some white space. Adding some turquoise here, but I guess I didn't have enough water on the paper because it didn't flow the way I wanted it to. That's okay, I'll just keep on moving ahead. I've got one circle on the page, let's add another circle up here. That felt right at the time. Now let's see, I've got a fair amount of purple there, but I want to add a little bit more. Again, I'm fighting my natural instinct to fill this whole page with color. But I really want to leave some white space, so I have some white space to doodle in. Can I squeeze just a little bit more color on here? Yes, let's go for it. Let's add a little bit more blue to the page, and let's do some random wiggles. Don't I do a little bit more? Yeah, let's do some up here. And then I'm going to let the paper dry. Alright, now that everything's dry, I have a black gel pen that I picked up at a dollar store. It's a 0.5, just a regular black gel pen. There's nothing special about this. And I felt like doing circles and lines, keeping the patterns really simple for doodling today. But I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do. So I decided to compromise. Let's do some lines with some rounded ends. That's looking nice. I find doodling to be very relaxing, almost meditative. And let's close off this side here on the left. I'm liking that better. Now for this section, I decided to go ahead and do some circles. Letting them be random in size. Some of them are big, some of them are small, just filling in this white space. And I'm going to speed up the video here right away, because as relaxing as this is to do, I'm not sure you really want to watch how long it takes me to actually do this doodle. So I'm just going to thicken up the outline around the outside of those circles and fill in the spaces in between them with a black gel pen. The doodling process does take a fair amount of time, but I find that I lose track of time while I'm doing this. So let's add another clump of circles up in this section, and again doing the same thing, thickening up the outside edge of all those circles and filling in the white space in between those circles with the black gel pen. Now, as I was looking at the heavy lines around the circles, I felt like the lines of those ovals was a little bit too light. So I made the lines thicker with the black Sharpie. And then I was thinking about adding some more circles all the way down in this section, but I thought, no, let's be a little bit different. Let's just outline this section and see how that looks. And then do a couple of half circles with some vertical lines inside of them. Again, just doodling where I feel like, as I feel like doing it. I started off with just the goal of filling in all of the white sections of the paper with the black doodles. So I filled in a couple of sections with horizontal lines here. And let's outline this section in the middle. And I really liked how it was outlined. I thought it added a little bit more definition to the page, so I decided to outline the sections that I had done the horizontal lines in as well. And I really liked it. So now that we've got circles at the top of the page, let's add some circles to the bottom part of the page as well. I find that it just helps the eye to flow at the end when you've got the same patterns on multiple parts of the paper. So again, making sure that the outside edges of all those circles is nice and dark and heavy, and filling in the inside portions in between those circles with the black gel pen. And speaking of keeping the same patterns on multiple parts of the page, let's do some more of those ovals, the lines with the rounded edges. Down here, a nice big section that I can fill in. And to keep it consistent, let's outline them with a black Sharpie as well, so they have the same line width. Now I've got some horizontal lines on the page, let's do some vertical lines. And again, to keep it consistent, I outlined the outside edge with the black gel pen and filled in each one of them with the vertical lines. Now, I don't know about you, but at this point here, I was starting to see a face. And that was all I could see. But because I've got the dark purple paint, I didn't really want to put a black line there. I didn't think it was going to show up very well. So I grabbed my white gel pen and thought that I'd add a white line around the circle where I thought that an eye was just kind of naturally occurring on this page. But as I was doing it, I'm looking at it and thinking, it seemed like a better idea in my head. It's not translating the way I thought it was going to onto the paper. Maybe I'll go with the dark line after all. So grabbing the black gel pen and making sure that the white gel pen was dry on the paper first, I tried adding the black gel pen over top of the white one. But it wasn't working. So I grabbed my black Sharpie since it was right there. And that wasn't covering up the white gel pen either. So let's grab the big dog. Let's grab my black acrylic paint pen, because that will paint over top of pretty much anything. So I sped up this portion here because it takes me a couple of coats to get the coverage that I want to cover up that white gel pen. So now I've got a really heavy outline. Let's do some doodling on the inside. So I did sort of like a wagon wheel type of effect on the inside of the circle. But it was looking really heavy and dark. So let's try this white gel pen again. Does it work over top of the black acrylic paint pen? It does. It works really well over top of this black acrylic paint pen. So let's lighten it up a little bit more. I just felt like that black line was a little too heavy and I needed to add a little bit more light to this page. So using the white gel pen, I just added some little white dots all the way around the inside of that black circle that I did for the eye. And how cool is that? I ended up with an abstract face. I had no idea this is what I was going to end up with when I started. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.